even hotter than yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What?
Is it unreasonable for LeBron and athletes, modern athletes, to think they should be on equal footing with ownership?
You two gonna have my face on some victimhood Olympics right here. I gotta quote my favorite album that I'm bumping right now. It's an old album, and it starts off with the intro, Dog Pound, are you ready? Gia, I am ready for this. I'm more with you than against you, Whitlock. I really thought it was eloquent. I do understand the substance of what you're saying. The issue that I will have is this. In ownership, what's inherent in the very definition of it is inequity and inequality. In ownership, think about it. Anything that you own, does anybody else have the same rights to what you own? It could be something as simple as your car keys or something as complex as your house or your businesses. Does anybody that touches that have the same amount of ownership than you? No, that's just what ownership is. So
why isn't that the beauty of ownership?
Because you should own more. If you own more, then you have the power. It's a pecking order. It's a dynamic. I respect that. Even as a player, if I want more power, I know that there is a limit to my power.
Buy something.
What'd you say?
If I'm a player, buy something.
That's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of it. So when LeBron is talking, he's not talking in the terms of exact literal definition. He's talking about in the spirit. Can you make this environment more cooperative, more of a partnership, a little more civic in terms of how we do business? And I respect that, but I want LeBron and every other player out there to know there is a limit to that. That's why I started off saying I'm more with you than against you. But players don't feel that way because we're the ones out there bleeding. We're the ones out there sweating. We're the ones out there doing the physical transactions. So we think that that's going to translate to full power, but it never will. We have very few minority owners. We have one in the NBA, Michael Jordan. We have one in the NFL down in Jacksonville. This is an ownership conversation at its core if you really want to talk about a level playing field, which will never exist as a player that's still on the court and field.
But and before the basketball players hop in, the NBA is putting LeBron in position to be an owner almost as soon as he retires.
It's good for basketball if he's an owner. I think
when he retires.
When he retires,
yeah.
to have a different perspective on the ownership board so that it can build and be a better organization as a whole. I understand both what you both are saying in ownership. You pay that money to have control over something. You want to have full control, but this game is evolving, and there are only a few stars that have the ability to do that. We're acting like athletes as a whole have a choice to designate where they're going and where they're not. That is not true. There are only about 5 to 10 guys, and 10 may be even too much, that have that power to say, you know what, I want to be here. And it might not work all the time. It's not going to work for AD right now, and it might not work, and it didn't necessarily work for Kawhi. Kawhi didn't go where he wanted to. Paul George ended up going where he wanted to at the time, so it does not work. But I appreciate what AD did was, saying, I don't have any intentions of being here long term. And you know what? I owe this city something, too, to be able to get something back for me. I may want to go here, but the bullying of it, I don't take it as that. I took it as AD looking out for the city of New Orleans to get something for me instead of me walking away and leaving you with nothing. So this is not – I understand what LeBron is saying because there are some special players that come along that should be able to have a partnership with ownership because ownership does not think about you when they get ready to get rid of you.
But who are those players? If Kawhi can't do it, AD can't do it.
They can try it. And they can't necessarily do it. They can try
Paul
it.
George couldn't do it.
There are only a couple people that can try it.
We're down to a couple now, huh?
No. But 5 to 10 that can try this move.
If I'm ownership, the partnership I'm willing to hand is that paycheck to LeBron or whoever those.
Just because you pay me, you can't do anything you want to me.
Agreed.
And the media is a part of the reason why players have this ability to do that.
Let me give you a better perspective from a workings man that been through trades and been through a lot of stuff in my career. Nobody's really had what I've been through. I had leverage my rookie year. I held out. I got the longest holdout in NBA history. I only played 28 games my rookie year because the Dallas Mavericks didn't want to pay me what the 4th pick was worth. So I chose to hold out. That's when I had leverage. I said, you know what? I'm not shortchanging myself on my first contract because you made a mistake drafting prior to me. You're going to pay me what I'm worth, and that's what happened. The second time, I'm in Houston. I get traded to New Orleans. I don't have leverage. But you know what? I was 33 years old, and I said, you know what? I'm tired of the NBA controlling where I'm going. I'm not going to New Orleans. Talked to the management, and they said, well, why don't you want to come? And I gave them my reasons. They said, we'll fine you if you don't come. I said, you know what? My peace of mind and my happiness is more important than that. I'll make it up. And eventually I got to the Phoenix Suns and was able to get into the playoffs and in a better situation. The 2 times I had a chance to have control, one was leverage, and one was when I knew I had to give up something to get something. So I understand. See, my thing with ownership is you're going to make a trade no matter what. Just be honest with me, okay? If this
As they were with Harrison Barnes.
Exactly. But here's my thing. I've been through it. Larry Brown told me, Jimmy, when I was at the Sixers, I want to get you to a playoff team. I'm talking to San Antonio. I said, you know what? Thank you very much. Later that day, they traded me to Golden State. Why even do that? The level of trust is what I'm talking about. And players, to me, if you tell me what's going on, Pat Riley did it. Said, Jimmy, I need to see if Dwayne Wade and Caron Butler can play. You deserve to start, but I got a slot for you. You can choose to come back. Now the decision is on me. So to me, the fine line is ownership can do what they want. Just be honest with what you're doing.
I would agree, but let's don't remove humans and life from ownership. And so, again, we enter into marriages and into relationships and don't live up to our words a lot of times.
You can't expect a player not to get upset when you sit here and don't be honest with them. It's the same thing.
Can I give you a little perspective on something? Because I don't have a problem with the top being able to flex because the bottom don't have the ability to. So personally, I've been in situations where I get traded to a team and all you ask for as a player when you're getting paid is the opportunity to grow and the opportunity to have success. If I work hard for it, can I achieve it? I had a coach to tell me, you know what? You deserve to play, but I ain't gonna play you. And I know you're a free agent coming up. And you know what? And if you don't do what I tell you exactly, like you have 10 plus years in this league and you have to show up 2 hours with the rookies while other people are laughing at you who have less experience than you, watching you being treated like a rookie. Yeah, you have all these things going for you, but I just don't like you and one of my friends don't like you. And if you don't do what I say, I have a power to affect your free agency coming up. You have a power to affect my life, the way I provide for my kids. You have that power and you're flexing it on me as your organization does because all it takes at that point in time is, you know what, you didn't do what I asked you to, I'm going to go tell my friend.
Exactly.
I'm going to go tell him and spread a rumor about you. So the bottom doesn't have that power. The bottom has to be held hostage according to whatever the organization wants to do to them. So all I'm saying is if the top has a little bit of flexibility to try something, I don't have a problem with it because you treat people, if you're paying them, however you want. You affect lives and you affect other people's families whenever you want to.
That sounds like an irresponsible, out-of-control head coach who probably didn't have a lot of success in the league. And ownership should probably step in and do something about it. Here's where I would be on LeBron and the top player's side. Because, again, this whole thing of I want as much power as ownership, I'm telling you, it's going to backfire. It is in the process of backfiring. What the guys at the top should be, because the only way to increase their partnership to me is to demand more money. You know what? Instead of me making $30 million, pay me $100 million. That's what the guys should get because that's what you can get from ownership as a player. This thing of somehow you're going to control and dictate this league and we're going to run it for me and my agent, it's blowing up in their face. And if I was NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball ownership, I would be against it. I've earned the right and purchased the right to control this league. My fans and my customer base have an expectation that we are in control of this league, not the players. Can we shower the players with enough money, and LeBron's certainly going to make enough of it, that soon enough he'll be in the same chair as Michael Jordan, and he'll be an owner, and he can flex his muscle as an owner?
Yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, I understand. Like, you always have to understand in any partnership what the other side of the table is thinking. And like you said, what is their ability to flex? In sports, coaches used to always tell us it's a privilege, not a birthright. Remember, we're the most discriminatory public venue and medium that exists in this world. And you're like, what does that mean? And they're like, we could tell you right now from day one, you're too old. You're too slow. You're too fat. You're too sorry. And we get away with this. So just remember, the gates to even becoming a pro athlete is Somebody is sitting there discriminating against you, your powers, and your abilities. It doesn't stop when they start paying you. Like whoever's on your payroll, and I have a nanny. Let's just go there, employees, whatever. No matter how much you pay them, they still can't come up to you and tell you what you need to do in your house. No matter how much you love them, respect them, and work with them. It could be cooperative. It could be a partnership. But there's still inequity there. And I think LeBron is starting to run against some of that, no matter how powerful he is as a player.
All right, we're 15 minutes in.
That's not enough.
15, and I just quickly, I want to get to the other part, to the hottest part of this topic.
Whoa.
Again, to the most controversial. Again, athletes to me, and LeBron is caught up in it. Again, we've talked about social media this week, and I'm right there again. We're wallowing too much in victimhood. It's the wrong thing for the sport and the brand and the industry and the business they're in. It's the wrong approach.